Good evening, Central Indiana, and welcome to Porch Time live from JTH Construction Studio, where tonight we have one of our favorite sponsors in studio, Larry Ralph Sr. and his daughter, secretary, I imagine, does it all, Becky Ball. How you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, dear. Tired today, but we'll get through it. I'm going to read sponsors here real quick, and then we'll get into the show. Of course, our first one is American Basement Solutions, 1-877-409-2837. Fathom Real Estate with Teresa Messmer, 765-341-8911. Drink the Creek, Cedar Creek, we just had the big shows. You can go to RD Productions, see the list of concerts. They will be coming up shortly. There is one more concert announcement at the end of the month at Home Bank at 10 on the 30th at 10 a.m. I believe that's tomorrow. Correct, yes. FindHelp.org, that's Judge Williams' group. Wayman's Furniture Appliance and Mattress, 765-342-4339. Wellspring, 765-346-6661. How you doing, Teresa? Stids Comfort Systems, 765-346-0195. Logan's Cosmos, 765-318-3388. Who's Your Web Nerd, 317-640-4398. Then we have three new ones, and I was not prepared tonight. That just shows you how far I'm out of the loop. Hang on one second. Here we go. Livewire. Call Tommy Walls at 317-522-8263. The Yard Barber. Call Andrew Payton at 765-318-4108. And the girls down at Hometown Nutrition. We will get their logos up and running on here soon enough. I think that's it. I can always use more sponsors, though. The batters are butcher them. I don't know why any of them do what they do. All right, lots of news. Lots of news from American Basement Solutions. Larry, how you been, buddy?
Good.
I know you're a busy man.
I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, sure you are. Me too. Before we get into that, I want the world to know this guy right here. Every time we do an event of any kind, he's first to volunteer, last to leave, everywhere from Mayfield, Kentucky to I forget the little place in Florida we end up sending stuff to, but with Lashbrook. But you're always helping.
Senior moment.
Right.
I don't know.
How you doing, Mike? He does things like Aid for Haiti and goes down there and stays for months and weeks at a time. And he's a wonderful human being, great family. And we're happy to have him. I'm glad to have you a sponsor, Larry. Corey always told me you're a good dude, but I didn't believe him. So, and I hope Corey's feeling better tonight. He's been under the weather a little bit today. So, anyway.
Now, what do I owe you for that introduction?
What's
that going?
Not a thing. We'll
Does that up my sponsorship?
I'll have Beth handle it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is almost rainy season if it hadn't been already, but this is the time of the year where you guys get busy.
Yeah, it's about another month. Once we get past, if you ever get like a melting snow and a rain at the same time, then that causes basements to leak and foundations to swell and bulge basement walls. And of course, when water gets in, then that causes a lot of the mold and the mildew and eventually rotten lumber, all the good stuff. We do all the nasty stuff that nobody else wants to do.
Before we get into it, I want to know, how did you get involved in this? I don't think it's anything that anybody wakes up to one morning when they're 18 and go, I want to crawl around in dark, wet, damp basements.
Well, I had a very good friend that was a pest control operator. Mm-hmm. And back at that time, we were all about venting. He was all about venting crawl spaces and applying chemicals and all that. For pest control, and got an idea. We actually went to church together. He got an idea that he wanted to kind of see about some of these new techniques and new things that could be done. And he started one. I bought into it, and then eventually we kind of went our separate ways, amicably. And
that's always good.
Then I started this one.
And often
started this one actually with my brother, my younger brother, and then we split because we just got so many other kids and now grandkids. And
how long has American Basement Solution been in business?
1990. 1991. So 30. Between helping Ken and starting this, it's been over 3 decades.
So you're the premier basement guy in the county, hands down, if not in central Indiana.
One of the early ones, anyway.
Wow.
I won't say absolutely for. I don't know, but
we're gonna run with that.
Yeah, that's good with me. Can I put that on some brochures?
Right, I was gonna say I'm add that to the right in there, and we'll keep going with it.
Yeah,
I was in real estate for a long time, most of it part time, but biggest issue on any house anymore.
Yeah.
Especially around here, you got wet basements, you got mold, you got mildew, you got radon.
Yeah. And
now there's some different stuff we may get into a little bit later on.
Right.
But that's when we have to call you guys. And I've seen some basements where I'm like, I'm not going down there. Our crawl space, I'm not going down there.
Yeah.
We've
been in some that most people can't believe.
Right.
But it's what we do. My guys, we're not rocket scientists, but we're pretty good at what we do.
Now, when you run into a crawl space and it's wet, and how do you guys go? What do you guys offer?
If it's a real wet crawl space, then we actually will go into the crawl, trench around the perimeter, and then dig a sump pit, put a sump basket in it, install a sump pump, and make sure that everything is draining to corrugated tiles in the trenches that are backfilled with gravel. And then we take those trenches to the sump pit, and then the pump does the work, pumping it out.
Get it out of the way.
Then we try to get it away from the house as far as we can.
Yeah.
So that you don't get any bleed back. There's a lot that goes into that too, because a lot of times people not keeping their gutters clean, and they
David says hello.
And so if you're not keeping your gutters clean, then they'll overflow, and the downspouts need to be carried away from the house. There's a lot of things that you can do, honestly, before you call us.
Right. We don't want to give those secrets away.
Well, sometimes we're backtracking is what it boils down to, and trying to, and then, we're in a lot of homes, and sometimes we'll just say, hey, listen, we can help you and we'll do it all, but here's what you can do on your own. And if you want us to, we'll do the whole package. But, there's certain things that homeowners can do on their own to kind of help themselves.
On a home I previously owned, back A-frame part of the house, where of course the gutters ran down the side,
right.
The rain would hit that side and get down the basement.
Right.
So we had to dig, or we did it ourselves, probably a 5-foot area, and we poured cement down and tried to slope it and all that. And I was like, I would not want to do this for a living.
Yeah. Well, actually,
I didn't know you then, or else I probably would have.
Some things can be done on the outside. If you're dealing with hydrostatic water, which is ground table water, as the rain and melting snow seeps in the ground, then the water table rises. And there's places here in town and throughout central Indiana where you can, you go 2 foot down and with a post hole digger and you got water.
All right, this is swamp area here. Yeah.
So as that water table's coming up, then it will go into, it'll seep through basements and cracks in walls, and honestly even cause the walls, if it's a block wall especially, to bow.
Right.
So we put in a lot of anchors where we're actually anchoring with rods out into the yard to hold the walls from collapsing and caving in.
What is the common thing you see around here? Is it just water table?
A little bit, primarily water table. It's a little bit of everything, but primarily water table and water issues. There's a lot of older crawl spaces that weren't done right to begin with, so they have no drainage at all,
right? And
not even a sump pump sometimes. So water will stand in there, and then it'll get stagnant and cause mold and mildew issues, and a little bit of everything.
Don't go to unfinished basements. I'm so grateful for guys like Larry. That's from Teresa. She's real estate.
Yes. Another sponsor.
Yes, another sponsor, and proud to have her. And she's probably next in line to come in. So
good.
As an agent, as a real estate agent for a long time, that was our. Yeah. You could have this beautiful home. You're like, can't wait, love it. Look at all the bedrooms and the bathrooms and everything. Like, oh, got to go to the crawling basement. And you get down there, and your first. A lot of times, I could walk through the door and get that whiff of mold or mildew, and you're like, somewhere there's water.
Kevin, sometimes we can stand on the front porch, and when the minute they open the door, we know what's going on in the crawl space.
Oh wow!
Because there's so many homes, honestly. Their septic tank, their crawl space ends up being a septic tank. Plumbing will come undone, and it'll go for years. And if the people live there every day, You know,
they're used to it.
You get to where you don't pay attention.
I don't know if that's
to
a smell I'd ever get used to. Just told Dawn we need to call Larry. There you go. There's David. Yeah, I don't know if I'd ever want to get used to that.
Yeah.
So,
man, but my guys do it.
I've seen it where the dryer vent has come undone
Yes.
and there's a leak somewhere, and then you've got this ball of wet fur
Everywhere.
40-foot long.
Hanging off joists.
Yeah.
Like stalactites.
Right.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to talk to Becky here. What does the owner / dad, what all is involved work with? And is he like this all the time? Or is it worse? Does he get worse as the day goes on?
He's a joy.
Facetious.
No, I mean, I wouldn't want to work with anybody else. It's truly been a blessing.
Right.
I mean, in any family business, there's going to be something, but honestly, it's truly been. I've been really lucky.
I used to always tell people that my office, my business is either like Orange County choppers, or
it's not like that.
Or
maybe at one time, but it's not like that anymore.
Or the one where they shoot alligators.
That's
the swamp people.
Swamp people.
Shoot them.
Yeah, and I say typically it only depends on whether I've prayed before I walk out in the office in the morning, and that depends on I set the tone. So maybe sometimes I come out a little.
I just tell them go back
guns
inside.
blasting.
Right, go back.
Go back inside, Dad. Start over.
Right, go back to bed.
Yeah. There's times Becky wants a redo.
So is it mostly family, or
Yes.
is it okay?
Yeah. Family, and then some guys have been with me forever. So.
Yeah,
They become family.
right.
Yeah.
What's your area? All the Midwest? I know
we
you got
run
one
about
time
a 3-hour circle out of Martinsville here. We'll run Louisville, Cincy, Dayton, up to Fort Wayne, around to Terre Haute, on into Robinson, Illinois, maybe a little bit, Evansville. So it's a pretty good sized territory we run.
Larry and Becker, blessings.
I think we have David fooled.
I was gonna say, David's definitely a fan.
It's been a while since we've seen him.
Yeah. I know the other day you were saying you had somebody in Ohio on a big job, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's a haul.
No, we cover some. We got one that's right now about 3 hours. It's all way on the other side of Cincy.
Yeah.
That's a good little drive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
There's
it's
not many
tough.
companies out there,
It's tough when you are driving that far, and you've got family guys that have to be back home that night.
Sure.
So if you're driving 3 hours and you're coming back home 3 hours, that doesn't give you a whole lot of time to
hit the hay and then turn around and have to do it again.
But it works. I mean, it's worked for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I'd rather just work in Morgan County. That'd be absolutely awesome.
Now I'm gonna have to ask you: do you yourself get back down there in any of that yet still, or
If it's
is
a good big crawl space, then yeah. But here's what happened, Kevin. I got fat and I got old.
Well,
And you know what?
I can attest to that.
I tell everybody I can probably do something about the fat part. I'm stuck with the old part.
Father
man.
Time's undefeated.
Yeah,
so,
I'm stuck with the old part.
yeah.
And I can't convince Becky to go in any of them now. So
Speechless.
I'm needed where I'm needed.
I only know of one area in this community that now I know there's more now, but you can literally walk underneath into the crawl.
Right.
And whoever did that back in the day, they put the vapor barrier down and everything, but it's the condos
Yes.
over by Spring Lake. You may have
Right.
been the guy. But we wired those
Yeah.
when I was doing electrician
Okay.
part-time. That lasted long enough to get shocked.
Yeah.
And we started out underneath that basement. I was like, holy cow. They had the geothermal stuff and everything.
Yes.
You could literally walk underneath that crawl.
We did one over off of Hess Road here a couple of weeks ago. Back
Savannah done wrote us a book here, Larry. We're going to have to read this. When I bought my house, the gutters were so bad the water was going straight in my crawl, so it was a moldy water and even caused termites. I had to have the opening dug out and the wall built around it, mold remediation, trench, sump pump put in. Guys that do this know exactly what they're doing. It's hard work, yeah.
yeah, it's not easy.
That doesn't sound fun.
No, it's not easy.
That's I would be mad at my real estate agent. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, it's amazing how many things are not caught, even yet today, just by inspectors. And if there's water in one, typically an inspector's not going to want to go down there.
Right.
So my guys put on chest waders, and they're down there. It's a real mess.
I think Linda needs to clarify which two she means.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, love
thinking it's on that side of the table. She could have said 3 and we'd have been fine, but you know.
So Kevin and Becky are cute.
I knew the house was a mess when I got it. Yeah. Savannah would be wonderful to work for you because she likes taking these houses that look like they fell on the Wicked Witch and then takes it and then pours
And I'll tell you, from what I know of her when she went to Bowling Green with us, she ain't scared of nothing.
No. She frightens me more than anything. Especially when you're driving with her. No, that's a long story. But yeah, she takes those houses that are one step away from being condemned, and then next thing you know, you're like, wow. So, and does a lot of things. Yeah. Oops. Yeah.
No, backtracking now.
Right. I think she's CYA there. So anyway. But yeah, that's not fun work, and it's hard work, and unfortunately, in the area we live in, it's a necessity with the water table where it's at, and of course, rainy season. You guys are the best. Listen to her. Yeah, she's right there with us. Yeah. Rainy season's coming up, and I don't think I've ever had to deal with that.
For us, it's pennies from heaven. Every one of those raindrops. Absolutely.
Now, radon is something we dealt with in real estate, where when the soils, we ran into this in 2 houses, and it's when there's construction going on close, somebody wants a radon test done, they'll throw the canisters in there like a week or something and get it done, and it's something you can remediate pretty quick. Right. But now there's something new in the area we're dealing with.
Yeah, it's tetracycline
tetracycline. We called it trike because it's something.
The initials are PCE.
Yeah, which
I know.
It's a cleaning
solvent. We
solvent.
can make something up.
Yeah, it's a cleaning solvent that was it's used in clean metals. I've been in aerospace forever, and it's I originally got into it, they still used it, and then finally they're like, oh, hey, that's giving fish 3 eyes and killing people. Right. And so they stopped that. Right. Then it was in dry cleaning also. Right. Which they're pretty sure that one of the plumes here originated. Don't quote me on that, but I need to call you guys Robin Parker. There you go.
I will be there at 8 a.m. tomorrow, Robin. You can give me a call.
And we'll post the number here in a minute. But suppose we got 4. What did I say? 4 or 5?
There's 4
plumes that we know of.
Okay.
Maybe more. But there's is this from? Yes, some of that, Savannah, yes. And this is where a guy like you comes in, because now it's not they're not worried about getting in the water. Right. It's the vapor coming into the houses and the intake of the vapor.
Right. The water testing, I went to the Chamber of Commerce meeting about a week ago, and MISA, which is the Martinsville Indiana Superfund Site Association. Listen to Wade Katz speak, and it sounds like really the water here now is really not an issue at all. The levels are totally acceptable for what's ever in the water, minute, but it is the soil gases.
She's praising you guys all to pieces right now.
Yeah.
Savannah's going to be bucking for a job with American Basement Solutions.
Yeah. Okay, Savannah, you're hired. When you want to start,
right?
No, and so now it's soil gas from those things that are evaporating. Of course, the worst is a crawl space,
right? Because
it's just a lot of times it's open soil up to the floor joists and into the home. And a typical 1,200 square foot ranch style home on a crawl space, if it's vented and not encapsulated, over half of the air in the home comes from the crawl space.
Really?
So as air comes in those vents, if they're not sealed properly, and that's another whole story.
Why you smell it.
That's another whole story. But anyway, then it would come up into the home.
I would hate to think what is underneath this house. I never looked, so.
I can get a guy under here.
Oh, I bet you could.
We can get some pictures.
Would I need to take my shirt off for those? Or
yes.
My bad, Larry.
We encapsulate crawl spaces now. We seal the vents and encapsulate them. So that
she's promoting now.
So that the environment in your crawl space is the exact same environment as you've got up top in the home.
Okay.
And that's Shane. Yeah. In fact, he worked for me for a while.
Shane Suter.
Yeah. And you want that environment to be the exact same thing that you've got up in the house. And with encapsulation, you do that because you kind of like create a mini basement.
Right.
And, you know, for the first 20 years we were in business, we were doing absolutely the wrong thing. And if I could go back and apologize to every customer, I would. And what that was we were just peppering homes with vents that was allowing air in. Because at that time, existing crawl space building code was written in 1926 in New Jersey, and they just adopted it across the nation without really looking at building science.
There you go. That's I think that's something to live by.
Yeah.
Treat your crawl space like a mini basement.
Yeah.
So and put a bar down there.
When when we encapsulate it, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
I mean, we've had some people take their tall crawl spaces and use it for some crazy things.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to ask. Yeah.
Wine cellars, storage. I mean,
just recently we had somebody park their ATVs in.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty
They're
tall crawl.
And it's on the side of the hill.
Yeah. So you were going by code from 1927?
We
We
were.
And then you had no choice.
Yeah. And then building science kind of proved that was absolutely the wrong thing to do.
Tina says hello. And then Shane's backing up just what you're saying.
Tina. Then once we seen that we were doing the wrong thing, then we
got to seal it now.
Yeah, we went back and sealed everything up that we could find, because you want to seal it completely, and if you do need to, you can condition it with a heat duct or something down there. Just open up one, but primarily you don't want that outside air, because what happens is, in Indiana, there's typically only 2 days a year when it pays to ventilate your crawl space. Even then, it doesn't work.
Are you talking sub-freezing?
Well, because the outside humid air
humidity-wise
throughout, in Indiana, comes through the vents, and it literally will condensate on the ductwork and the plenum, and you'll end up creating like a mini rainforest. And then you get mold growth, even when you don't have standing water.
I had a cellar tent. Stuck on that old plan.
Whoever said that, Teresa, is still reading the code from 1926.
That's crazy. It is amazing, and not only that, then you get your bugs, your termites, your beetles, and everything else.
Or critters.
Yes.
A lot of critters.
Yeah. Well, at least you're willing to learn and grow to adapt. Nothing worse than somebody that thinks they're... Yeah, there you go.
We thought we were doing the right thing. We were wrong.
I had to run wire a couple times underneath the crawl and come face to face with a possum. With a flashlight about this big, and I was like, something big and gray just ran in front of me. It could have been Bigfoot for all I know. But.
The worst one I've ever experienced, I was in Effingham, Illinois, and a big guy like me, I usually go opposite of the skinny guys. They all just dive in underneath, and I go backwards kind of. So I bend it a little differently than some of those younger guys. And so I was backing down in it.
Better technique.
Yeah, I was backing down in it, and I heard something growling. And
exactly.
Yes, possums and bats.
And snakes.
Yeah,
bats I can do without.
I heard something growling, and I thought, that doesn't sound.
Uh-oh.
So I took my flashlight, and when I was almost all the way in, and I flipped it around, and I seen eyes, and then I seen a lot of little eyes.
Oh.
And
mama.
It was in it was out in a cornfield in Effingham, Illinois. So I got out of there real quick. I went up and told the customer, said, "Hey, listen, I can't do this. I mean, I'm not going to go down there with those coyotes and pups. I mean,
it was a coyote.
Coyotes, yeah,
not good.
Yeah." And she said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you about that. I've been leaving the crawl space door open all winter so they can go in there."
So they were encouraging it.
Oh yeah.
Not good.
No. And we did have a guy, Nick McDaniel, that was pulling the.
Old Nick.
Yeah, you know Nick.
Yeah.
He was working for me. He was pulling insulation down one day, and snakes dropped. They had been on top of the fiberglass insulation, and they had bedded in the fiberglass, and they dropped on the ground and went everywhere.
Call Trapper Tim.
Yeah, we had guys coming out of that crawl space faster than you can.
So what kind of snakes were they?
Nobody stuck around to find out.
See, the thing is I grew up at the ponds at Grassy Fork.
Yeah.
So we went snake hunting every day, and but I mean, the only good snake was one that was no longer breathing.
Uh-huh.
But as you got older, then you realize, wait a minute, not everything's a black snake, and they will bite you.
Right.
So you'd pick them water snakes up and whip them and snap them. But now as I'm older, I'm like, no, don't ever do that again, stupid.
No.
So I would be the last place I'd want to get caught is in a crawl with the snake looking back.
Yeah.
Because we do have rattlers and we do have copperheads.
Yeah.
And both of them are going to lay the hurt on you.
Yeah. No, we just it's part of working in a crawl space.
Yeah.
I mean, but we do a lot of basements too. One thing that's changed for us is we're doing a lot more commercial, historical projects. We just finished a yes.
Steve's in today at next Morgan Rose.
Yes, you're right. You're right, Teresa. Yeah, those are not good.
Those are timber.
Yeah.
No thanks.
We just finished. If you go on our Facebook page and look, you'll see pictures where we just finished a Carnegie Library up in Elwood.
Really?
Oh, it's the coolest thing. This guy bought it and going to turn it into a wedding venue. But the basement was leaking, and he had to deal with that before he could go on with the rest.
Right,
of
and that's the
building.
thing. If you resell a house right now, it has to be taken care of. The basement is ground level, has to be fixed. Any foundation
and
issue.
it's not just waterproofing. I mean, we do so much floor repair, structural.
Yeah, I was going to get into that. I know that because that comes hand in hand.
A lot of floor joists, a lot of center beam, a lot of sill plate, a lot of the structural that rots after this mold process and this dry rot process starts.
Right.
Which it's really wet rot, but it's called dry rot.
Nothing dry about it, is it?
No. But we do a lot of structural repairs.
Yeah.
And these commercial historical projects really is something that's just very cool. We did a home last fall in southern Indiana that was built in 1840 and was part of the Underground Railroad.
Oh, that'd have been cool to see.
And so the sills were all rotted out, so we had to jack up the home and put all new sills. Just finished one here in town that was built in 1902 over on Pike Street.
Wow.
Project there. And so it's kind of cool. We run into some neat stuff too along the way. I mean, it's not all bad. It's a job. You have to be a little psychotic to enjoy it. but it's a job.
Necessary evil.
Yeah.
Exactly. That would have been amazing, Savannah. So you get to go to the fun places.
Yeah.
And you schedule all these.
I do.
So you're the voice behind the phone when they call in and their basement's flooded. So you get to hear all the yelling and complaining, and then we got you.
I answer the phone in a very cheery way, and some people, I always say, "It's a great day. How can I help you?" And they're like, "Really? Is it a great day?" And I'm like, "Well, it can be.
It's gonna be. We're gonna get you there."
Yeah.
So,
it's a great day.
I try to be cheery.
Well, I'll tell you this: since the era of the body wraps on the vehicles, and plus what we're still trying to do here.
Right.
I'm afraid of snakes. Some I am, but mostly not. I read every truck and everything I can see.
Yeah.
And I don't see only one with your type of business on it from here to Avon and back every day.
We were at Gaddy's the other night, and your brother walked in.
Right, there you go. See,
Tim.
I'm glad you see him because I haven't seen him in 2 weeks.
Tim walked in. Well, I see him at an auction too.
Oh, we're here on Home Avenue.
Yeah, him and Swango.
Yeah, those two. Peas in a pod.
I went and grabbed my trailer and helped them haul that
so
old
you're
truck.
The one that took it. Okay.
Yeah, over to Harvey's house.
Yeah.
Anyway, Tim walked into Gaddy's and said, I knew you were in here because I seen your truck out there. So I don't know. Really, that truck probably has never cost me a dime.
Really?
No. That's because of the work we would get off of the signage on it.
Right.
I don't think it ever would have cost me a dime.
I don't think people realize how much that form of advertising helps.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you're sitting in traffic.
Yes.
You see them everywhere right now.
Yes.
For Shane's got his, and the guy up at Elizabeth Tim that does the landscaping's got his, and you've got yours, and those just throw off the top of my head because I see them all the time.
About a month ago, Linda and I were walking out of Menards, and we seen these people at the side of our truck, and they were taking pictures. It didn't hit me, but they were taking pictures of the truck and the phone number and everything, so they could.
Guy answered wanted me to list his house. It was empty for a year. Walked in the kitchen, I noticed a bounce on the floor. Went to the partial unfinished basement, noticed it was wet. The outside wall of the kitchen. Yeah, not good. Should have called Larry.
Yeah, actually, the bulk of what she's talking about in the flood of '08, everybody remembers that here in Martinsville, especially.
Oh, yeah.
It was Martinsville, Franklin, Shelbyville. I mean, on
15
it
inches
had
of rain,
the
yeah.
training effect is what it was. I can't remember. I think we did 17 homes. Some of them literally had just dumped in. The foundation, the basement walls had just dumped in. But the customers had done it to themselves, sadly, because the basements were full of water. There was still water pressure in the ground outside.
Right.
And they went and rented all these great big 4-inch trash pumps to pump the water out as quick as they could. Because they were thinking, oh, I got to save all this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And when they did that, boom,
yeah,
they caved in. So, and we did a lot of basement full wall rebuilds.
We were close. We had
anchors.
Our window well in this little cellar we had was where our furnace sat over on Lincoln.
Uh-huh.
And it luckily was on a pad, a 2-inch cement pad.
Right.
And it had sloped down to where a sump pump was in the corner.
Yes.
Well, there was no sump pump keeping up with what was going on in our house. The window well the wind must have blown the cover off or something. And we didn't, you pay attention to that about as much as off. And it blew that off, and rain was, you could hear it. And this is like 2 a.m. We opened that door, looked down there, and that thing's about ready to crest that. So out there in the middle of the night in a horrible thunderstorm, out there trying to get that lid back on that cover and get the water pushing away, but it was just coming in like a waterfall.
Yeah.
And another 30 seconds, our furnace would have been gone. Yeah. And to this day, I don't know, that wall probably, but it was old brick.
Yeah.
And it used to be old heating oil down there. So that brick probably withstood a lot more.
Did another home, I think it had to be late 1800s, Sheila Green over at Columbus and Grant. Hers flooded in that '08 flood and brought the wall in with it. And we literally just went inside the wall and formed it and then just poured a new wall up to hold that.
Really?
Back. Yeah.
Remember the house next to, it's I want to say Forky's parking lot, but it's the one east of it now.
Yes.
There used to be Homestead there, but that got taken out from just that water and coming down the side of it. Yeah.
There's an area of Franklin that we worked in forever. It was just a lower area over by the college, and it wiped everything. In fact, there's a lot of homes that they didn't allow you to rebuild or reoccupy.
Right.
Well, over north of Indies and the car lots there, those homes over there were taken out.
That's right. Yeah.
Because of that.
But
that wasn't I-69.
That was east of Indies.
Yes.
That was the flood earlier 10, 15 years earlier. I went over there with sandbagging all night.
Yeah.
And almost every one of those homes had water damage of some sort.
Yeah, it was
Crestwood Drive Crestwood or whatever. Yeah.
Becky actually had a bunch of stuff in storage, and she was helping me. We had a diesel truck at that time, a Ford with a 7.3 diesel, and it would run through some really deep water. So we were out pulling people. We were out pulling people out of their homes and ran over to get Danny Hughes. I don't know if you knew Danny or not, but anyway, some of these other places we were pulling people out of their homes, getting them out from what we thought was going to be even more horrific than it was. But anyway, Becky had a bunch of stuff in storage, and she should have been over there getting that stuff out of the storage buildings as the water was coming up, but she didn't think about it because she was helping me, and she lost it all.
Oh,
stuff can be replaced.
Right, people cannot. Previous home, you get that after him, and yeah, that's. You guys will help anybody. Previous homeowner, our house knew there was problems with leaky walls and falling walls. Been dealing with that for years.
Yeah, we
feel old.
We typically try to take care of the water, and then we'll use either anchors or steel beams to hold the walls back.
Right. I wonder what the majority of the percentage-wise of homes in this city limits, need.
A lot.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
Vapor barrier.
Yeah,
I listed plenty and looked at hundreds in this community, and I guarantee you, there's only been 4 or 5 I know.
We dig it out, Tina, by hand.
Yes, I know your house, and we end up we do one of two things. We'll either do tunnel digs where we're digging just tunnels through there so that everyone can access their plumbing and the mechanicals and things like that.
My tunnel would have to be pretty deep.
You'd be surprised. I mean, we can move some dirt.
And And then if it has to be more than a tunnel dig, then we do a full dig out of a. We've actually turned several crawl spaces into basements. I mean, it's a real challenge, but we've done it.
Really?
Yeah, just keep digging down.
And then what do you go? And then do they pour walls and everything?
4 footers. You build walls up inside the existing foundation that's there, and then you pour slab and.
It's not cheap
Work on
because
that.
it's
I was gonna
very,
say.
very
Oh,
time consuming.
It's very time consuming, laboring.
Exactly, Savannah.
Yeah, it's labor intensive.
Yeah, I know a guy that may be interested in that. Lives at the corner of St. Clair and Columbus. Because you've never seen my little cellar here.
No.
You got to go down a ladder.
Yeah.
That's for starters.
Okay.
So when the wind blows,
Yeah.
I got 2 options. Sit in bed and turn the TV up, or go down that ladder. I've not went down that ladder yet. Actually, that bathroom there's like double cement.
Right.
I go in there, play on the phone till.
Yeah. So then you're good.
Yeah. Odds are. So, yeah. It's I won't do that on air because it's like no. But yeah,
I used to live on a house on the corner of Walnut and Sycamore, and that's how it was. It was built in 1910. Right, and it was like that kind of cellar where you had to get down. I mean,
it's
it
an
was pretty bad.
afterthought. I mean,
well, I mean, it was an old house too, and that's how it was built. So it's just...
I want to know what was in there before they put the heaters in. Because that's
some
where
of those cave crickets look like they've been there forever. I'm not gonna lie.
Those are crickets too that jump. People think
sprickets.
Right. Yeah, some people. I've had one of my neighbors tell me one time, I got brown recluse all over my basement. I'm like, he goes in there jumping. I'm like.
They don't jump.
No.
Those aren't brown recluse. Those are canyon crickets, is what I always call them.
Yeah. I've heard them called multiple things.
Oh, I know.
Creepy. Yes, I've heard them. Called
I've got them in here still to this day.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, dark place.
I like crickets, though. They're good for you. Good luck.
According to the World Economic Forum.
Uh-oh.
I have sprickets.
That's our new meal.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I've been gathering up and putting chocolate on them. So.
Hey, it's a delicacy, I'm sure.
Yes, Tina has sprickets.
Oh, he would go to dwarf to that. Instantly gets the blood pressure up.
Yeah.
He knows how to hit the hot buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I couldn't imagine the number of places in this community right now that are in sad shape.
You know what? The other thing that kind of created this, we've come through a period, and we definitely have come through it, where people have turned so many homes and didn't do anything. It's like lipstick on a pig, man. And I mean, this whole flipping movement over the past 10 years, it's made some people some money, but there are also some of those individuals.
But how do they get by with that? Where's the inspection?
We deal with it every single day.
I mean, look at the housing market. At that point, people were just
they were so hungry to own a home and to get one while everything was like it was.
Had no choice. Went after it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And so a lot of them, bought as is. I mean, a lot of homes were sold as is. Just
now that does happen. I want to catch these up. They got a crawl bucket of rope. Yep, that's hard work, Teresa. Literally the worst paint over mold and crap. I've seen that with firsthand. That's one thing I guess I took my pride in. As an agent, the first thing I looked at was foundation. Second thing was around the windows, and the last thing I could get to was a crawl out of the basement.
Right.
And I've turned down homes listing because I said your basement's or your crawl's a mess.
I mean, it's not like you invite people over to look at your crawl space that's been encapsulated.
Unless you're John Wayne Gacy or whatever it was.
That's true. But if you put in new kitchen cabinets or do something,
not good, Savannah. Yeah.
Then that's something you're proud of. And that's something you see. And nobody wants to put money in their crawl space. Basements, sometime if they're thinking about remodeling it or finishing it, it's pretty amazing. It's an amazing thing to see every day.
Now, if I lived in this community and I was watching this show, the first thing I'd do tomorrow is call Becky and say, "Hey, do you guys come out and do free estimates?
Free estimates.
Come take a look at my crawl and tell me what, because I guarantee you should get 100 phone calls."
And we promise not to laugh.
Right.
I've heard some crazy stories, but I won't laugh.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Teresa. Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen a few. A place family member lived that, like the dryer vent thing had come off.
Yes.
and they had water pipe issues from the
Yeah.
washer and the dryer weren't properly
Right.
installed.
Right.
So the washer, clothes washing machine was draining into
Dave's
the
calling you.
Savannah
I'll
Road.
expect
But
it.
a lot of these
I'll be
also
there.
change landscape. Yep. Shane knows what he's talking about. I bought as is, but I love the challenge. Yes, you do. That's literally what gives you.
Yeah,
most.
I believe it. She, like
I'm
I
telling
said,
you, she'll be driving around an American
Yeah.
Basement Solution truck by the end of the week. But the washer was leaking. Anytime the water drained out of the washing machine, it was in the crawl.
That happens a lot.
And the vent wasn't hooked up. So
A
when
lot.
I talked about the ball, that's where
Yeah.
that came from. Saw that with my own eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, no, there's no
Yeah.
way. How did that pass inspection?
Yeah.
Somebody,
We just
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, we
A lot
just
of times.
completed a home in Cincinnati.
with a small transmission out of a crawl.
I
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah.
No inspection, knowledge, no inspection.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Yeah.
I'll tell you off air if you're talking to me, Savannah.
No, we literally just finished one in Cincinnati that the washing machine. I thought it was sewage. I mean, but the washing machine
Could've
had been dumping for years and years and years in this crawl space, and it partially open, so a lot of leaves had blown in there, and it was just a rotted mess.
Just a mess.
But it was about 10 inches tall.
Mm.
So my guys had to do a tunnel dig there. And they literally tunneled in, got it drained out, and then started trenching. I mean, yeah, it's a mess, but somebody has to.
Right?
It's like dirty jobs. Somebody's got to do it.
That's as dirty as well.
Yeah.
Maybe
Close.
working on the elephant at the zoo would probably be the next in the list, but you guys are pretty close. About the vapor intrusion.
Yes.
Is this something that your business could end up getting involved with, having to come in?
Yeah.
What you do, would that prevent the trike or whatever it is,
Trike,
PCEs
ethylene,
coming
yeah.
in the
Yes,
air?
Yes. Well, what was discussed at that meeting at the Chamber of Commerce the other day was, Shane knows he came home muddy sometimes when he was working with me. What was discussed there is basically it would be like putting in radon systems where you would use my encapsulation system and then put in a radon suck tube with the pull out the.
It's 12 feet or whatever
Yeah,
it is in the
yeah,
sky.
yeah,
Yeah. Which I'm always like, is that it? That's pump it out 6 feet and it's done. Dissipates that quick.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, we. I think we're going to end up. It looks like doing some of that work here in town.
Well, good.
yeah, I
It's
think
good
so.
for you.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well,
It's,
see, that's you're in the right spot again for the right people here.
Also, we work with a lot of realtors and plumbers and HVAC installers. If they get one, if somebody gets one that they know they want to have other work done, but they can't get anybody to go down there, then we'll go in and straighten it up so they can.
I bet you get all sorts of fun phone calls, don't you?
I do.
She loves her job.
Yeah,
I do. I really do like
She pushes it off to
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Here you go.
yeah.
Well, there's
No,
situations.
for the most part, how old are you? 20 years now? I think really she started working for me. Had you learned to talk?
I was working in the office like when I was in high school, like filing and that kind of stuff. But I'm almost 40, so I've been out of high school for
She's
a
still
little
way
while.
young, so
Stuck doing it ever since. I
I
say
go to
stuck,
some
but not really.
pea gravel. There you go. There you guys do the.
Each job is different. I
It
can't.
is.
Yours was you were talking like a basement.
It varies. There's so many factors.
Everything varies, but the I mean, we have a set price per foot for the drainage system in the basement. We have a set price for the anchors. Like the anchors can run anywhere from $900 to $1,200 a piece, and that's where we go out and dig a hole in the yard, and we drive and bore a 3/4 inch galvanized rod from inside the basement to the outside in the hole 10 feet away from the home or whatever. And we have plates where we sandwich that together and then put about 87 pounds of torque so that
Pulls it back.
pulls it back. And then
This all code and everything. You're
Yeah.
right on
Oh,
the
yeah.
money. Yeah.
so as a period of time passes, then you get into dry season where the soil's not wet and it shrinks.
Right.
So if you'll retorque those bolts, if it hasn't been if the blocks have not been retucked on the inside, you can slowly bring a wall back.
Work it back in.
If they've been like if it's been cracked for a while and somebody's just taken mortar and stuffed in the crack or whatever, then
Not going to happen.
you can keep it from going any farther,
Right.
which is important.
Well, yeah.
but
You don't want it to move any more than
but
that.
you may not be able to bring it back.
We do offer financing, Robin, through Green Sky, which is just we partnered with them. I've never had anybody not get approved. Just like a MasterCard that they send out. So there's different kinds, 6, 12, 18 months, 0%, as well as, a longer term 6.99 or 7.99, anywhere between 60 to 72 months. It just depends on your credit score, and it's usually like a 7-minute phone call. I walk you through the steps to see if you're approved. It's fairly easy, I'll be honest.
That's her part of the gig.
I was going to say,
yeah,
I understand now.
Yeah,
that's something I wouldn't want to deal with either.
Yeah, that's her part of the gig.
Right.
And she's really good at it.
Obviously.
But the cost is relative to what we're having to do. Obviously, if we're there for 3 weeks doing a dig out, then
Right.
those get pretty pricey, or turning a crawl space into a basement. But if it's just if it's just a vapor barrier, or just a sump pump or something like that, or just drainage or whatever, then I think it's pretty reasonable for what we do.
I want to ask you this: was the low water table here, or actually high, I guess
Right.
you would say? What do you do when you dig in a yard and you hit water already? Because I imagine you probably
We ran into underground springs before.
probably have run into that.
I had one home in Salem, Indiana. We literally put 4 pumps in, and it was a small basement.
Really?
Small basement. And we put 4 pumps in that home.
Just to keep it going.
Just
Flooding.
flooding, everything.
Water was just
Were they
pouring in.
And this was
literally next to a river or
No,
low
it's
valley?
just
Or?
no, underground spring.
At the bottom of a hill, and the spring
Right down
was
there,
running
valley,
through
yeah.
there. Plus, the other thing people don't understand, the water changes. Like as it washes out some aggregate or some
Sure.
stone somewhere or whatever, then the next thing you know, water's going to places that it's never been before. Yeah.
Right. We can get into aliens and stuff like that now in the Grand Canyon if you want. That's a show I'm waiting on. I just went down the Grand
Yeah.
Canyon rabbit hole the other day. It was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
so.
I saw that.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I could talk about that stuff all.
I may have to come in and sit in on that. And
Why is it locked off? We're way off. Why
Sorry
is it?
to bring
I
that
did
up.
not know this, but there's like 75% of it you cannot go
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Shut off by our GOV.
Yeah.
And it has been for years, but I guess there was one gentleman that went, and the stories and information he brought back, and they said, we're going to shut that off.
Yeah.
And they did.
I can tell.
Uh-oh.
In private.
Here we go.
In private, let's talk.
I'm liking this already. Do we need to blur your face out and change your voice?
No.
Because I can adjust your voice.
My stepson,
You have something you
my
like.
stepson was, he actually went to Area 51 and was checking a lot of stuff out.
It's our last show,
at
folks.
Area
I'm just telling you
51.
right now after that was said.
and well, I'll tell you in private.
I wish, I love the platform because this is what we started on, but someday we may venture over to Rumble or somewhere where you
Yeah.
can discuss things free will, and I can put my flags and my banners back up of my
Yeah.
favorite person that was in the top seat, and we
Yeah.
could really have some fun shows again.
Right.
But until that moment, we have to.
Right.
And there are some people that get mad at me because they're like, you don't discuss politics or anything on there. It's like,
Yeah.
no, because you lose two accounts like
Yeah.
I've had, and Beth lost 2.
Yeah.
For the good of the program, the good of the show,
Yeah.
and the site, you got to walk the
No,
straight and
you'll
narrow.
lose it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't afford to lose it.
Nope, they pull it out from underneath you and say
Yeah.
they don't need you.
Yeah.
Clearly, they don't need us.
Yeah.
So
Everybody.
I know
Yeah.
everybody's. We
Yeah, I-
gained followers since you said that, Larry.
Yeah, I messed up.
Right.
Incoming choppers.
Right. I know. I was like, what is
Oh.
this? Who's the guys in black suits knocking on the door?
Yeah, Tina she's one of us.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I'm liking Tina. So is Savannah.
Yes.
So
And
you know that.
It looks like
Shane
probably
is. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah. I always threaten a conspiracy show on here, and every time I say that, I type it in line. I get like 30 messages from people. Dude, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't understand. I want a very select few
Yeah.
because they would have to look.
Yeah.
There's some things we cannot say.
Yeah.
So, I have to. David, you're gonna. Johnny is another one. It's good stuff. Well, Larry, I want to tell you, friend to friend, it's an honor to know you, whether you're a sponsor of the show or not. Watching you work your magic, Mayfield, Kentucky, and Florida. For the people that do not know him, like I said at the start of the show, and his family, because I'm sure you've all been down these roads a million times with him. The guy literally would give his shirt off his back to help you, and whenever he can. I've witnessed it. Everybody, the Mayfield group, that was just an enjoyment to be a part of. And I couldn't imagine going to Haiti and watching you. I mean, we called a guy when you were on the show once. You called a guy on a moped in Haiti from that chair right there, and he answered as Larry, and he's a Haitian national, or that's, yeah. And
she knows everyone.
Great guy. Only met him once. Exactly. Savannah knows. And Mike's saying thank you also. So, I mean, that's a pretty amazing, you've left your mark in another world, so to speak, because of the difference between down there and up here. And that guy remembers you by name, by voice when you call him. So, and the thing is, I had a couple of friends send us friends request to be on the show.
Oh, I believe it.
After he was on that time.
It probably was fun.
Me and myself and Corey,
I mean, I even have a semi-adopted daughter here in county, and she's
really, and you because you've helped along the way and everything. That's wonderful.
It's not legal, but I call her my daughter.
Well, that's all right.
She's 21.
Family is family, no matter.
Exactly.
You guys have touched the lives and the hearts of many.
Becky does. Becky and Linda. Most of the time, right now, Becky does all the transfers. Haiti, the money transfers. He's running and.
Tough times down there right now too.
Haiti
it's
is
rough.
a mess.
Yeah,
Kevin. It's really bad.
God,
I follow that on the news.
It's
see Shane. Thank you. Yeah, I follow that on the news when I can.
Day.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's and until things change outside the world, I don't think that's going to change inside that world.
No. When the United States is having some difficulties, like if we catch a cold economically, man, they're dying down there. They're dying of the flu.
Yeah.
It's tough. Right now is, I started working in Haiti in 1984. Right now, probably this is the toughest. This is the worst.
And that's scary because some of the things that you've told me prior to this in years past, I couldn't imagine.
It's the worst.
I mean, I can't go all day without a fan blowing on me, and you see there's not even electricity in buildings that you stayed in.
The stuff that's going on there right now is like, it's nightmare.
It's just political unrest.
Nightmarish.
They're murdering people.
Yeah.
Just murder.
Gang violence, kidnapping.
Breaks your heart.
But, I mean, our company, so many people down. Not only do we work for, to make a living, but.
God bless you guys for the work you do. And I mean, if the world had 20 more people like you, one more person like you, you never know what would happen. Change the world one family at a time,
We just got started and it seems like you can't. I don't know. How do we ever quit?
No, I don't think it's in you to quit. I was going to say. Yeah. I've known you for 3 years now, and I don't think that's in your vocabulary.
Because gotta find a way.
Exactly, Savannah. I was getting ready to say, I had a guy tell me once on our way to Mayfield, hey, they don't let you in the front door, just keep driving. Yeah. There's a back door somewhere you can go in. How many hurricanes have you been denied and you end up getting in the zone you wanted to?
I get in every single one.
And this guy's been to every hurricane relief thing.
Since Hurricane Andrew.
Yes.
90.
Yeah. And they've denied you at every entrance at every one of them.
At different ones at different times. Yeah.
And somehow you made
it. You just don't take no for an answer. All you got to do is you got to go to Lowe's or Menards, buy a hard hat and a yellow vest.
I'm really good at making professional looking stuff.
And Becky prints us up some lanyards and some some lanyards.
Savannah knows. She's heard it.
And you just
you don't know quit.
You find a way.
I think between you and my brother just kept driving. They're telling me to stop, and I was like, I don't know if I'd want to ride with either one of them going anywhere because it could cause a ruckus real quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but it's for the good. So.
Yeah, yes. If you're gonna go down swinging for a good reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you.
It's always better, almost in every aspect of life.
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, to ask forgiveness than permission.
I knew it. I've heard this way too many times in my lifetime.
Amazon has vest. Yeah, I like the forgiveness over the permission part too. I think that's I need a shirt that says that. So if I can get a guy to do shirts out of that room over there, we'd be in business. Exactly,
yes.
Savannah.
Yes.
That is solid gold right there. 100%. Well, as I started to say, it's an honor to have you as a friend. I look at the list of my sponsors, and you're top of the list for a reason, and we appreciate what you do for us, the world, our community, and
we're glad to support it. We appreciate what you do in the community here, and
it's all for fun with us.
Yeah, but it's still
the connection, the way what you've done with connecting people in town here and out of town, and the auctions, the benefit auctions, the things that you guys have done. You're making a big difference in people's lives right here.
You told me that I had, and I'll never forget this, that I have my own, what did you call it? I'm going to mess it up because we started this.
Well, this is your ministry.
That's what you said.
Yeah,
and I was
ministry.
like, I never looked at it that way. The Hour of Hope we done for a while, we may end up bringing back.
There's a really good saying that I like. It's preach the gospel, if necessary, use words.
Right.
So the thing of it is, it's not about always preaching in a pulpit.
I was going to say, I've never looked at myself as a preacher.
It's about what you're doing,
Especially people like you and like Savannah, Kevin the humble guy. Well, nope, I don't, because it's. I look at the people I work with Corey and you and Beth and Savannah and Tim and on down the line.
Yeah.
I just happen to be the guy with the big mouth that says, "Hey, let's try this," and you guys are like, "Man, I hate him, but we're going to do it anyway."
Swango and your brother. And
those two.
Yeah, you get them together. It's a mix. But anyway,
Robin's one of those people that make a difference.
Yes, Robin makes a difference.
Yep.
Robin worked with me for years in the business here.
Hang on, I'm getting lit up here all of a sudden. Anyway. What did Swango and Tim have you do with the vehicle now?
Well, we were at an auction the other day, and Swango bought one for his buddy Harvey, or somehow. Anyway, they didn't. Mike's pontoon boat is on his flatbed,
right?
So we went and got my trailer and went over and got that truck or whatever. They invited me to go on a cruise with them in June. Man, I wanted to go so bad I couldn't stand it, but I just...
Yeah, I turned that one down already.
I know you did.
I looked up.
We had a long talk about you.
Sold out. I looked it up.
I wouldn't go down a cruise down Indian Creek, let alone in the ocean.
Really? I'm one of
I'll punch up some YouTube giant waves if you want. We can... Hey,
don't knock it till you try it.
No, believe me, I've flown. I was in the military. I flew halfway around the world each direction and worked in both. And you can only have so many near misses where you're like, oh, I'm gonna stop doing that from now on because they come out with, it was a show where it's the death show. Where what is it called? Where
Faces of Death.
No, I know. That was their Saturday morning ritual in Germany. Was wake up at 7:00 normally with an adult beverage and watch Faces of Death. Or worse, time.
Honestly,
no,
I think it's a great idea, Savannah. I don't know you.
What's the destination?
Yeah.
Where the truck locks the logs, and all the ways that kids die and all that. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah. Didn't Corey just go on a cruise?
Corey goes on cruises.
His son sings on one, right?
Yes, Trenton does. But my brother's been on cruises, and see, the last cruise that Timmy went. Well, this time wasn't bad. Tim went on one a few years ago. And about 2 days into, there's a hurricane coming. So they have to go to Cuba and park off the coast of Cuba for like 3 days. Right. Then come back because the cruise is over. I'm like, see, I would be livid.
Yeah, I wanted so bad to go with them in June, but I just can't pull it off. So, but I'm going to tell you, being with Mike and your brother, I think they're up to 21, 22 people now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, they're going to have no Flying David. That's another topic.
Yeah.
Wait till they call you up at 6:00. Hey, we're going to 99 Crab or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I'm coming home from work. I'm dirty. I'm tired. I need a shower. No, we're going now. You need to go. No, I can't. So they'll come by here 2 hours later with a bag full of Cajun food, and they're like, here, chew on this for a while.
Oh, man. I went over to Mike's after we had done that, last Saturday.
Oh, we're catching heck here. Hang on. Savannah is wanting, now she's saying 2024. I got it pushed out a year. And most likely, if you're on a cruise ship.
Stuck under a bridge.
As long as I'm not on the bridge, I'm good. Where is she not in here tonight, Linda? Because she throws in.
She's watching grandkids.
She's watching grandkids tonight. We got 3 grandkids. She's staying at their house.
Oh, now look.
The bridge. That's right. Now I got it.
I guess I don't even know what this is.
Yeah,
Are you scared of bridges?
Is
this like a thing?
It's sudden deceleration syndrome that's I'm afraid of. It's when you fall off the bridge, I think, is what gets me.
So it's
Have
like
you
the
actually
stop of the plane at the bottom
Yes.
on the ground, and it's the water under a bridge.
Have you actually fallen off a bridge?
In my sleep.
Okay. So this is irrational.
No, it's rational. See, she's gonna get it.
Yeah.
So do you put like your finger on the screw and hold your breath when you're driving over a bridge? Like a lot
I don't drive over very many bridges anymore.
You don't even go to Louisville?
And see, here's this.
Okay, she's beat me to it.
She's killing me. I'll get to the bridge story. And here's the funny thing is, when I was in Europe, I was a driver for my comm chief, young kid,
Uh-huh.
and I drove like 85,000 miles, 2 years, accident free. And one of the runs we had to make was a town called Eider Oberstein, which diamond capital of the world at that point in time.
There's lifeboats, David.
And it was around over there are mountain passes they have rolling about that high off the ground. Well, this thing is down a cliff, around a big pass with a gorge 9 million feet. I was the only one who would drive it. Black ice and everything. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Audubon 9,500 miles an hour. Now, no, I don't know why. No, I never. No, the flying
in
thing
the mountains
is.
of Haiti. He wouldn't ever be able to probably.
Well,
pull that.
how big are the mountains in Haiti?
Oh, it's.
I'll get to the bridge story here in a second.
A couple times I've had our vehicles where
Tired.
it's a very tall mountain, and the Jeep or the Montero usually that I rent because I would never ride my own.
Right.
It goes across a couple places where the road's washed out on both sides, and I've had to have guys place flat rocks
And
in
lean.
the tires
Lean towards the
and
mountain.
lean as we were going.
Well, how big a mountain is it? A cliff on the other side?
Oh, yeah.
it's.
Oh, I'd be waiting back at the
it's,
hacienda with you then.
Yeah.
Now, call me when you get back, Larry. I'll be down here in
Yeah.
terra firma.
Yeah.
No, that one right there, we decided to cut out because Timmy drives 900 miles an hour on the
I rode
personal
with him.
vehicle. Yeah, you've rode with him, and that guy will too, and Corey will too. So Trent and I decided we'll ride back with Savannah, go our own route.
Mm-hmm.
So they take off, and Corey and then they check out. So we're so see now we're
So we finally are getting
getting somewhere now. Yeah,
Savannah has.
so we're coming back, and we got across. We went 231 all the way, or where we were at in Bowling Bowling Green. 231 dumped out right there.
It does.
So we rode 231 all the way back. Well, we come. You're right, exactly, David. We're coming up on this bridge, and things start puckering up on me, and so she's driving, and Savannah has this habit of the more she talks, the quicker that gas pedal goes. And comes from Tim singing. There you go. Exactly. So no matter what she did, I pretty much put a jacket over my head and went about my business. But
Robin was there on that trip. She remembers it.
She's been on multiple ones.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's been in Haiti with me quite a bit.
Like I almost army crawled at the lookout. So no way. Now we go to we went to a 2A rally in DC.
Uh-huh.
And I won't tell you who's driving, but it's me, my brother, and Trent, and another individual. And we hit that bridge in West Virginia. And see, I'm in the back, so I'm fine. I'm just looking down at my phone. I can see, oh, here comes a bridge. I'm looking down. So I got blinders on, and I'm tunnel vision on my phone the whole way going. Well, coming back, Tim decides to say, oh, Kevin, here's a bridge, a big one. And now they're like, oh, is he a phobia of bridges? Yeah. So they pull to the right and stop on that thing dead center. And it's the one in West Virginia that, you could have 3 heart attacks as you're falling off of.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
did you commit urination?
No. I could have probably used a big boy diaper, but no, I was like, can we please just keep moving? That's all I'm asking. Yeah. And we did finally. But yeah, that was tormenting. I was like, can we stop at a liquor store somewhere so I can
Mr. T.
Right. Shoot me with the dart or something back in my day. wanted to go to Haiti until it said fly.
Or swim.
Yeah, the flying part would
be
bother me,
swimming.
and I've flown all over, but nah, not anymore.
Yeah, Robin.
I didn't know Savannah's afraid of mountains. Now I can something to joke with her about because she didn't hesitate throwing the bridge at me, did she?
The problem is there's not many of them around this part of the
I
country.
like that.
So
I'm
you're
ready
not
to move
gonna
to Kansas, actually. So, hey, I'm not kidding you. I can make a trip from here to Florida and not go anything over about 600 feet elevation. So I'm good now.
Yeah.
I can figure that out.
Good.
Might take me 17 hours, but compared to Alabama.
So you don't go Mount Eagle.
No.
You go,
I'm gonna shoot right along the Ozarks.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. I was stationed in the mountains in Germany. So that's the.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Something as you get older and you just
You
catches
just need
up.
a blindfold.
As long as I'm not driving, it's not bad.
Okay.
I can throw a blanket over my head.
Well,
and
getting
Savannah
old's
can
not
laugh
for
at it.
sissies.
No, I'm telling you, yeah.
No, getting old's not for sissies.
Right. I think the flying thing, the first real flight I went on, I was 18, and it was to Germany, and I sat in the nose cone of that clipper that ended up getting taken out later on. Remember?
Okay.
But I flew that 4 or 5 times, and the first time I ever flew on it, going to Germany, my feet, literally, the screen of the TV was here, and we're, you realize the pilot's above you, and I was like, this is scary. So I think I held it in for like 10 hours. I was like, I got to go pee.
Yeah.
So I turn, I look, and everybody's looking at me, and I'm petrified now, because I'm like, I cannot believe I'm walking at 35,000 feet, for one. And I was like, I got to get to that bathroom. That's all I know. Then coming back, I'm seating it all the way down. But yeah, it's fun times. Fun times. See, we cover all bases on here.
You bet.
So, Larry,
You bet.
hopefully you're going to get some calls, it looks like, this week. You'll be busy tomorrow
take
morning.
I will gladly talk to everybody.
Speaking of that, business-wise, people-wise hiring, has that still?
No.
Yeah. That's nationwide. People understand that. Even in my business, there's
every contractor I talk to, every home improvement contractor, every roofer, it's like, where do we go from here?
Yeah. Well, they're talking about we've got a Culver's coming and something else coming for sure. And I'm like, where are they going to get the people until we build houses here, have families move in?
Yeah.
Who's going to work?
They better get those things over on Martinsville's new road built quick.
Yeah. But I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Workforce.
No, it's nationwide.
Even in the aerospace I work in, it's you can't find people that want to work.
I don't know how.
And your work
I don't know how
easy.
it ever goes back.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
What is it? I always like don't feed the animals. Don't feed the bears at the parks.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Yeah.
Because when they see a car pull up, they're going to want food.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And you keep feeding and handing people everything they want.
However, there's another thing. Hungry lion hunts best.
Labor positions.
And I just think we don't have enough hungry.
I don't know if we have enough lions anymore at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got a lot of sheep.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Did you tell her labor positions?
Mm-hmm.
All right, boss. It's been fun. Very nice to meet you.
I've met you multiple times, but you meet so many people.
I apologize.
It's fine. You're okay.
I feel bad now.
No, don't feel bad. Actually, so the first time you'd ever met me, it was a great time.
Good. Now I feel bad. Where we're at the fair?
I've came in here a couple times, not
Really?
actually like during your auctions, and I've bought stuff.
Okay.
Picked it up.
And I've known Corey for a very long time. My husband's good friends with Corey too.
Yeah.
Isn't Corey a good dude?
He is.
He's not. He's under the weather today, but his whole family's good people.
Yeah.
And I try to. I'll call him up and say, "Hey, let's go A, B, and C." And 99% of the time, he'll go. You know.
Oh yeah.
And I try to tell people how this guy just will do anything for anybody.
They're
Just
good
good
people.
man.
Yeah, Corey did a sports camp for me in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
Did he really?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
put on a sports camp.
Do you know how good that athlete that guy was when younger, Corey?
Yeah.
You talk about the fastest hands I've ever seen in softball, in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played
He
softball
played
for our
on.
church.
He
for
played on.
Oh,
years.
yeah.
He played
Oh,
on
yeah.
the church team for
Yeah.
years.
That guy was an animal. That is 100% correct. I didn't make that. Somebody else must. Corey might be on. Or Corey or Beth. CB on? I'm looking now. Anyway. It's always fun. I knew it'd be quick. Look at that. 1 hour and 10 minutes.
I wasn't sure we could fill an hour.
We could go 3 more on the Grand Canyon. Y'all know as soon as this ends, I'm bringing that back up. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Very nice meeting you for
It's
the
nice
third
meeting
time,
you
and I'm
for
sorry.
the first time ever.
Right. I have friends who goes to Haiti multiplies Geo Marcy. Avala?
Oh, it
I
seems familiar. I don't know. It's just been
I'm
so.
here starting around the front room.
Oh, in front of Michelle.
Put your clothes back on, Corey.
Night, Savannah.
I don't know what you're doing.
Getting right. I wanted to glide past that. He's strutting around in the nude in front of Michelle. Wait a minute. Getting old.
Well,
is
you
no
said
fun.
he was quite an athlete.
I guess so. I guess he's reminiscing now in front of
Yeah.
Mama Baker.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you, sir. As
Okay.
always.
Thanks a bunch. Take care. Thanks for all you do, too.
Love you guys. Love you guys for tuning in. Such kind words from y'all. Love you too, CB. Tomorrow's Monday.
Tomorrow's Monday.
Go out and make the most of it. I know it's a struggle. Can't wait to get out of bed. All the kind words. There you go.
Oh.
Oh, sure. He's covered up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
She gets it honestly, doesn't she? Yeah. Guys, we will see you later in the week. I'm sure I've got something going on. I'd have to check schedule. But love you guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We will see you soon.